Hello everybody, my name is Drew and welcome to episode 3 of Flight School 2020. Last episode we worked on our landings and did our first traffic pattern. The next up is a solo flight. However, the solo flight being the exact same as the traffic pattern, aside from not having an instructor, I'm going to leave you to do on your own. So we are on to navigation. Let's go. Okay. Navigation. We are at Sedona and we're going to go to Flagstaff today. Flying is the best way to get from point A to point B. Oh, that's right. If you know how to navigate, this training session is all about the basics of VFR navigation. Maintain a heading and calculate time, follow a planned route, and track aircraft location of flight progress visually via identifiable landmarks. Now, I've been doing this a lot recently in the new sim on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/juju46. It's my main platform. You should go check me out over there. Pop a follow if you do mind. You can see a lot of content like this over there. Little bloopers here and there. All the ups, all the downs. Quite fun. Check it out. Link will be in the description. Let's fly. Okay, here we are again at Sedona in the Textron Aviation Cessna 152. I'm very excited to start actually flying from A to B instead of just flying in circles. So let's get to it. We're ready to fly.
I've always said, flying is freeing. Open skies, endless possibilities. But to fully enjoy it, you need to be prepared. We're going to focus this lesson on navigation prep and procedures. The fundamentals of getting from point A to point B.
Okay.
Step 1, putting some distance between us and the ground.
Okay, so the first thing we have to do is take off, release our parking brake, and start moving. We'll push the throttle all the way up. Our RPMs are in the green, that's good. Our speed thing is starting to move now. Our airspeed indicator. And up we go. I don't know how high she wants us to go, so we're just going to start going up.
Alright, we're off. Now, keep climbing around the airport till we reach 5,800 feet.
Okay. So we're gonna go out first. We're gonna turn a bit to the left. I think she wants us to just stay in the vicinity of the airport. So we'll act like we're doing one of those traffic patterns. So beautiful, isn't it? Passing 5,500. 6. Turn this way so we can stay in the vicinity of the airport. That's through 57 now.
It goes without saying, but good navigation starts with good departure prep. Let's set up the aircraft for the first leg of your trip.
Okay. So we want to set our cruise attitude.
Attitude? Check. Now for your heading. When you need to set and maintain a heading, you'll want to rely on your heading indicator. Compasses are prone to errors, especially during turns or while accelerating or decelerating.
This one down here is what we want.
Go ahead and position your plane above the airport.
Okay. Is it over here?
Oh, one last bit of departure prep. We need to validate the time. That's a fancy way of saying start the clock.
Start the nav log. I think I turned that off. Start
On the
clock.
nav log, you can see our next waypoint, Mund Park, is at a 41-degree heading about 5 minutes away.
41 degrees.
Navigating is basically flying a given heading for a given amount of time. Sometimes you deviate, but if you track the time flown from your last known position, you'll always have at least a range for your current position.
Okay. So it says it's 41 degrees. So we're gonna look for the 41.
We all know speed can increase
also
or
follow
decrease
this.
depending on the wind. That's why at your next waypoint you'll want to compare your estimated time en route with the actual time flown. Validate your estimate and your progress.
Okay. So beautiful, isn't it? The clouds look gorgeous as well. Just gonna try and set our cruise attitude a little better now. We don't want to be climbing or descending. This seems pretty good here. Again, we're doing this by moving our trim wheel up and down. So what we're doing right now is flying this heading for the given amount of time. It says 4 minutes and 57 seconds to Mund Park Golf Club. I don't know why it's selecting like that, but it is. Such a beautiful simulator. Just look. It's amazing that we can get something this beautiful in a simulator. This is really well done. This really is. Now, this is going to be the last episode of our flight school series, because just like the mission after traffic pattern was just a traffic pattern without the instructor, the mission after this is the same thing without the instructor telling us what to do. So that means episode 4, we're going to start learning new planes. So I need your suggestions in the comment section below about what planes I should teach next. There are 30 of them in this simulator, so there's no shortage of planes. I just have to learn the plane before I can teach it. You can also check out my Discord server. I know I haven't mentioned that, but I do have one. I'll put that in the link in the description of this video as well. If you are enjoying this, make sure to hit subscribe, hit the like button. Those really help me. I'll catch you guys when we're over Mund Park. Okay, here we are coming up on Mund Park. It says we're about 1 mile away. We've passed the time, but I think we can see it up ahead. If you look, that does look like a country club. Golf club. So I would say we have successfully reached Mund Park. Let's see what we're gonna do next.
Good. You made it to Mund Park.
So now
According to
follow
the
the
nav log,
highway.
we've got one more stop. Flagstaff Pulliam Airport. An easier way to navigate is to follow identifiable landmarks like highways. And just so happens
Okay.
we have one below us.
So we're gonna follow the highway to Flagstaff now. And we're gonna restart our stopwatch. This is the more interesting side of visual flying, because the highway does not go in a straight line. But since we're following the highway, we will. course, you can do this from the outside view as well. Check out all the graphics. The highway does look amazing, doesn't it? The trees make it look wow. Really, every part of this simulator is amazing. The graphics are beautiful. The clouds, the sky is gorgeous. The airplanes look really, really nice. And let's be honest, the biggest part of flight simulators are the scenery. And now we don't have to follow exactly over the highway. See, the highway just didn't S-turn there, and I sort of just went straight, because I could see in the distance ahead of us. And I also have a very convenient thing in the sky telling me where the airport is. That helps out a bit, too. Though I don't think those are there in real life. So the highway, of course, looks beautiful as always. Let's see, that looks like a screenshot worthy picture right there. In fact, that might just be our thumbnail. Isn't that amazing? Just look out the wing. It looks so beautiful. Okay. If we switch back, we can see we're still following the highway. You see, the nice thing about this is you don't really have to look. You can just look. You can see for miles ahead of you. You say, oh, okay, the highway just goes straight. And just look off your wing. And everything, it looks so beautiful. Either side, you can see over here as well. The forest looks amazing. And to think all of this you can get with only 100 gigabytes on your PC. It's not too big of a download. From my experience in previous flight simulators, if I wanted something that looked like this for even just one state in America, it would be 50 gigabytes. That's a huge amount of data. And I could get all of this for the entire world, keep in mind, for only 100 gigabytes streamed to my PC from Microsoft's servers. It's just amazing, isn't it? As you can see, I mean, we don't have to go exactly as the highway does. You can see it's going to turn like that. So I could sort of just go this way. I know that this is the same highway as this, so we can take direct liberties and not have to follow all these turns. Some people do like to follow the turns, and it is quite fun to follow the turns when you're in the real nimble airplanes. However, if you just want to get from point A to point B, this is a good way to do it. It's real fun too. Just go somewhere you don't know, follow a highway, see what you can find, take in the views, maybe follow a river, a lake. There is so much you can do. See, we're only 5 miles now. We can check our timer. It says we're gonna have to go for 6 hours and 49 minutes, and we've gone for 3 hours, or 3 minutes and 49 seconds, sorry. Not 6 hours, 6 minutes and 49 seconds. So we're about half of the way done. I think based off of how we were the last time, it looks like we're going a little slower than they expect us to, which means we're definitely going to be maybe adding a minute to our travel time, but that is okay once you take in all these views. I mean, look at the clouds. Just the clouds alone are amazing. And the way the textures from the clouds come on to the mountains, the hills, it's just amazing. Isn't it? We'll look off our wing here. See the highway in all its glory. Tons of cars going up and down it. Well, the highway goes that way a bit, so let's make sure we follow it. We don't want to get too distracted by the giant marker in the sky. We're following the highway. You can see sometimes it's a little hard when it gets covered by the trees. See, it looks like it went off that way, but it just goes straight here. And I think we can see the airport just there. Just off in the horizon. Again, we're just going to follow the highway for now. Get our objectives back up. And you can see, I mean, It turns like that. And it is fun to just do the turns, right? Follow the highway as it goes along. It doesn't matter if it adds a little bit extra time to your journey, it's worth it. It's fun to do all these turns. It's fun to just look around. That's what's just so good about Flight Sim is you can just go anywhere, look around, and it's amazing. It's so enjoyable. So yeah, we're almost at the airport, but not quite there. So I'll come back to you guys when we're at the airport.
As you close in on Flagstaff Pulliam airspace, next step is setting up to enter the traffic pattern.
Okay.
We've got clearance to enter the downwind leg and land on runway 21. Keep your attitude, then follow the standard pattern.
Okay, so we're going to keep the attitude we've had for the entire flight so far. You can see, I think that's the airport right there. And we're just going to sort of enter into the downwind leg of the pattern that we were in last time. We can reset our stopwatch now, we don't need that anymore. But yeah. You can see we're about to enter the downwind leg. This is how you generally enter a pattern from a 45-degree angle, so that's very good on their part for modeling and remembering that so well. This is a very in-depth simulator, and I have to say, the in-game training missions are not a bad place to start. They do get you what you need to know to start flying. Are they perfect? No, they have some issues. They're not going to teach you everything you need to, say, fly on VATSIM as an IFR commercial jet. But they will get you started, and that's really what matters. The sooner you can start flying, the sooner you're going to want to start doing the rest of this. So we're now in the downwind leg. We can see we're parallel with the runway. There we go. Now we're parallel. We're surrounded by trees, so it must suck if we lose an engine where we're going to go. But we are in the downwind leg.
Lower your nose to a cruise attitude and reduce your power.
So we're going to reduce our power. I'm going to do our base turn in 2 miles. So we'll just trim for a slower speed here. As I was saying in the last episode, pitch controls speed and throttle controls pitch, or up and down. So we're just gonna pitch for a slower speed here as we come into land. Let's set our first notch of flaps. Again, make sure to trim, push down. We do want to stay level right now. Now, getting ready to make our base turn for the runway.
Power should be at idle now, so you're losing altitude while maintaining cruise attitude.
Just want to pull back our power. Make sure to keep pulling up so we lose altitude while maintaining attitude. That. The graphics are so stunning in this sim. There's the airport. Runway's over there. Whoop.
Finally, a landing on runway 21, and we'll call this one done.
Okay. I like that. We can set a second notch of flaps. And now that we're turning for final, we can set our final notch. So in the comment section below, do let me know which plane you would like to see next. I can do anything from the fun little amphibious Icon A5 to the 787. I can fly almost all of these planes already. I know most of them from previous experience. We're gonna give ourselves a bit more speed here. That beeping is the stall warning, which means we are going too slow. So we do want to make sure. We probably pulled our throttle back a little too much. There appears to be a tree in our way. That's not going to be an issue. I think the trees are a little tall in this game at the moment. There we go. It just disappears. We can put some of the flaps back up. That'll allow us to go faster as well. The flaps are there to help slow down, so we probably didn't need them all. That's more the airliner mindset on me. You don't land with full flaps because those things go so fast. So now we can pull our throttle back again. We have a white and a red. That's what we'd like to see. That means our PAPI lights are showing us we have a good approach. So we can cut the power now. And on the ground we go. That was a good landing. If I don't say so myself. So we've now slowed it down a bit. Again, we don't want to stay on the runway, so we're gonna get off the runway as they like us to. I don't know why it hasn't checked off the land.
Alright, successful VFR flight in the books.
There we go.
Not bad. Not bad at all.
So we can exit the runway here. And we have passed our first VFR flight from point A to point B, not going in circles. How exciting is that? We looked at our landmarks following that path to the golf course, and we were able to follow the highway, and then we entered our traffic pattern and made a textbook landing on runway 21. People will say, oh, you want to get the smoothest landing, but really, you want to get a nice firm landing so you know you're down on the ground. If it's too smooth, you'll bounce back up. And that's not what you want. Thank you guys for hanging with me for this episode of Flight School 2020. Next episode, we're going to be looking at some different planes in the sim. Leave your comments below on what you think you'd like to see me fly, and I'll see you next time. Check out my Twitch, twitch.tv/Juju46. and my Discord. Links to both of those will be in the description below. Thanks for watching.